everyone on here with us now? Just a few more minutes. We still got several people in the. But am I going to see it there or am I going to see it there? That's not the truth. Oh, I don't know. Are we all here? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, Charity, we can hear you. Is Michelle?
Yes. I was wondering if, I don't know about this technology, but it's okay. I'm kind of nervous. I've taught a lot of classes, but this was kind of nervous.
Yeah.
For this style. It's okay. We'll get through it. So it's okay.
Oh, you're going to do great. Is Michelle going to record you and introduce you, or do I need to do that?
Tanya is supposed to be recording and introduce. I don't know if she's introducing or not. I know she's supposed to be recording.
Okay, good deal.
I am recording, but I am not introducing. So if someone else could do that, that would be great.
Okay.
It's okay. I can introduce myself. I'm kind of well known here. So we are going to do a beaded class, and it's kind of different because it's not the traditional beading. So we will get through it. I don't think I need any introduction. I'm Charity. Been around for a long time from Putnam County, but live in Jackson now. So I had just moved, so it's a new lifestyle. So I'm in the middle of the woods. So if anybody wants to see middle of the woods, come see me. So all right. If you've got your supply list already, I hope you have so that you can go along with us. But if you haven't, I will go through it and hopefully you can do it at a later point in time. So the supply list tells you need 3 yards of jewelry wire, and jewelry wire comes in lots of different colors. I have some gold on the table. Tammy's using the present time now. I'm with Tammy, yes, and her crew. It comes in gold, it comes in silver, it comes in a bronze color. It even comes in some other odd colors because this is a plant wire, but it can work the same way. So there's a lot of choices out there of the wire you can use, and I'm using a 16 gauge, so it gives you a sturdier bracelet. But you can go smaller if your bead size is smaller. Larger would be kind of hard to work with. So, but that's what I found will work the best. So, and I started this because I needed a little bracelet for my granddaughters. So, let me put it down here. So we have a little tiny bracelet. See it there, a little tiny bracelet, and they're hard to find in this world. I don't think little girls need bracelets, but my little granddaughter wore it at the wedding, and she was beautiful when she had them on for like a week at a time. So she did well with that. So that's what kind of started all this. So we'll get started. In the instructions, it says you need beads, and you can have anywhere from 3 beads to, I think most of mine have is 20 beads. And it depends on the size of your bead, and it also depends on how big your wrist is. So that is where that is at. So if you have any questions, we'll see if somebody will monitor the computer for me. So we'll do that. Just let me know or yell at me. It also says you need pliers or wire cutters. I have found in the process that toenail clippers work really, really well for cutting this wire. Most of the wire I had, so they get really, really close too. So if you don't have the wire cutters and stuff, the toenail clippers work really, really well. So that's another thing. Another thing I also found too, that you can buy reamers to clean your beads out. If they don't quite fit, you can make the hole a little bit bigger. And they sell Hobby Lobby or most places where you can find your beading supplies. In the instructions, it says you will lay your beads out first in the pattern that you like. So if you want to do that first, you get the pattern laid out on your, I always work on the towel or a piece of felt or something, so your beads don't go rolling around the floor. Because that's always a problem whenever you're beading. So if you lay your beads out, and I have some already laid out, so I'm going to do a pattern of this. And the big thing is making sure your beads fit on your wire, because and I think I denoted that on your instructions too. And if they don't, you can work them, or you can use your reaming tools to clean the beads out. So that's how that works. So you I'll give you time to lay your patterns out. I want everybody to kind of follow along. And I'll be switching to different things. And I've done some different ones last night, so I can do the different some different things for you. Everybody got their beads laid out? The pattern they want. Oh. And I'm doing an orange bead and wooden bead. And wooden beads seem to have bigger homes too. So if you're looking for beads, I usually take a piece of wire with me, and then I will put it through the holes and see if they fit through a package even before you buy it. So that's a way to test your beads once you find the beads that you like. So. We've been making some bracelets this morning. If you got your once you get your beads laid out, then you'll need to put them on your wire. You want to mostly keep your wire straight while you're putting them on, because once you, especially if your beads are tight, once you put it on, they won't want to move. And these you want them to be evenly spaced around your wrist. So it's you got to kind of play with them a lot. So, but I'll show you how to play with it. Once you get this, once you get your beads all on your wire, sometimes it takes a while. Does anybody have any trouble? Crystal, can you monitor the thing and see if somebody's on the? Have any questions for me?
Crystal. Yes.
It just seems like maybe has any questions.
Yes.
How can you please?
I can do that. No questions so far.
Good. Everybody must be on the right point. That's popping in. All right. Once you get all your beads on, then you need to put it around your wrist and more around your fist more, because you need to get, because there's no clasp on this. There's no. It's a bangle bracelet. So you want to put it around your wrist, around your fist, and then you'll just need give you a couple extra inches, and then you're just going to make a loop on the big bracelet. I got this in here on the big wire. Leave your wire in the spool because it works much better that way. And you'll just do a couple twists, and then you can make sure if it fits on your wrist or not. So that's my circle, and it fits over my fist. Once you get there, you're just going to start wrapping, go over your first bead, and then make some twists on between your beads. You can make one twist, you can make 5 twists, you can make however many you want. You can do it 1 the first time, 3 the next time, 6 or 7. These are, I like these because they're very sporadic. They're not the same, so you don't have to do it really, really well the first time. This is your first time at it, so that's why I like these beads, because I'm using up a lot of different beads. I didn't buy. I think I bought 2 or 3 packages of beads to do this, and I've done a whole bunch. So my bead. So once you just get it, just get it through the. But then you start twisting it, and you can. I don't know how to see this. This is better.
Okay, somebody needs an up close view of the twist. So here we go. So show them an up close view of the twist.
We're just twisting it. Can you see that, how the doubt's twisted now? Yeah.
Do you need an up close view of just the twist around, or do you need one of the around the bead?
Around the bead as well.
Okay, well,
Around the
you'll
bead
just
as
go
well.
over the bead. You just go over the bead.
Yep.
And then I'll make a twist here. See
Okay,
how
gotcha.
it goes over the twist? Just goes over the bead.
Okay.
Just keep going.
Okay, everybody see that?
I see that. That's what it's look like. It goes over the bead. It just goes over the bead, and then you twist it between. And it's fun. Even like this one, you can go from like 1 or 2 twists between the beads to I had a problem. So I just twisted and twisted and twisted, and but it looks kind of cool as it is. So that's what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to, I just twist them between the beads, and then you'll keep going around until you get to the end. We'll do that when we get to the end.
I think be up close to her all the time. I think they sit where they can just see her hands. Like in all day.
We're going to be very up close and personal now.
There you go.
Can we see that better?
Is that better? Look at this one. Well, I started last night, so we'll get this one finished too. But you'll need to space your beads around, so they'll be able to go all the way to the back. So you don't get them all. And once you get it started, there's no back. Putting more beads on. Here's Tammy. She just finished one.
So you can make them loose, or as Charity had them, you can make them tight. It's all personal preference.
Yes. Crystal's working too. And I can't tell you how much it'll take for each one, because it's a lot depending on the size of your beads and the size of your wrists and then the twist you put in it. Because I even come to the point where I had too many beads on there, so I usually work with glass beads, so I broke the ones I didn't want on there, and it made it pretty good too. So because I didn't want it to be bare. So that's a good frying pot.
Be that there for a few minutes too long.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of heat in that little tiny house. That's one bad thing about little houses, is it? All right. You may have to. Give it cut off some. How are we all doing? We end up have some problems here. I don't say, Crystal, why? You want to see if you got any more? They're on the computer. Yeah. Okay, so everybody must be doing okay. Is it coming along okay for you? If you have a question, give them, type it in. Tammy's gonna monitor the computer for me. I could all use a voice because if you want to get it out doing this thing.
I'm just been the I was just taking the questions.
How are you doing this, Mom?
But you can see them.
Oh, okay. I did.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know
No.
I didn't know where it was. If those were.
You're gonna make the ball I wanted to remind us. Look at what they are.
What?
These aren't the same bead.
They may not be the same thing.
No, they're not.
So I've got to keep mine's too big of a loop to go through my things. I've got to make it little work.
Okay, I must have done something at the very beginning. So when you measure it on your wrist at that point, do you make a loop in the loose end before you start doing your twisting to hold it together?
Let me see. We're gonna make it into the. You're gonna make it into the circle. You know your circles here. Your circles here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, done. And then you got a little. Your wire comes around, and then you're gonna put it near your big wire, your bunch of wire, your lot of, you have a short end here, and then you have your long end. You're going to put it around the long end.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Got it? Okay. And then just keep twisting and going around your beads, and it should be done soon. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I've been doing at least 20, 30 of them. And each wire you use is different too. So if you stick with the same, I went to Hobby Lobby and bought like 5 or 6 different types and colors, and then I came home and worked with them, and you'll find they are different. So you'll find which you like the best. Yes, yeah. Well, that's Crystal said it's what to fit your beads, and it also is. Some of them are softer than the other, but you don't want it too soft because you want it to keep its shape. But you also might be able to work with it too, or not. Need a strong man. What? Oh, is it that? But that's not even bead wire. That's a plant wire. It's just what I had. So
It's pretty, but it's hard to work with.
yeah. And you can also use there are some seed beads that go over this too. So if you want a big variation in beads, because on this one I'm working right now has some seed beads. They may be called e-beads too. I will. It's just a little tiny bead. You can see this or not. Let me see if Here's a little tiny E bead. This is a little tiny seed bead, and that I'll go over that one, and then do it too. And you can also do dangles. Let me find one that has a dangle. Tammy's had one. You find some of the beads that just just have a loop on them, and they're supposed to dangle, and that makes it give it a pretty thing too, to where it just dangles for you too. So think about some different options with it too, because that's what it's all about. I like things totally different, totally unique. And you can almost, in if you don't want to lay it flat on the bead, you can also bump it up too. So that also gives it a different look too. See, now I've come to a point where I've got about halfway done, and I'm going to run out of beads. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work some bead work. I'm going to do some, I should have spaced them farther apart. I'm just going to put some wraps around here. I don't know what I'm going to do yet until I get it done. So well, let's see what happens. It's pretty quiet here. I should have new music in the background. Sorry.
We're not used to having
Sorry.
hold out music.
Yeah. Cheyenne left too, so there's no pool sounds going on. Where's she at? Are there any other questions I need to be answered? Everybody doing it pretty well? Are they coming out? Are you liking it? It's a quiet bunch. I know. Well, they're
Working with your hands.
they're working.
I got mine.
You got, how you doing?
Here it is. It fits on my arm, kind of big, but
Okay, put it up high so we can see it. I can.
Oh.
Good.
Wow.
You did a
Great
really good job.
well, thank you. That was fun. That was very creative.
But and then whenever you get we get this one to the end, and how's everybody else doing? Let me have
How I finished it on the end was I put a little bead there and then put the wire back under.
Okay. Well, if you just push them together, and I'll get there in just a minute. And I'll show you how to finish it. Finish this one. I will. I got to do the finish of it. So. And you should have if you got wire, like a spool of wire, it'll do more than one bracelet usually too. So. Depending on what kind of bead you chose and how big you made it. And if you don't like it and you want to take it out, you can reuse it, but it's harder because you've stretched the wire and the wire isn't straight, and it's hard to get your beads back on it. But I have done it before, so. Or you give it to a friend and you go on. Oh, should I? 4 more to go.
It's got some interesting wraps around
It
the
does.
beads.
Some of them I got more
They
creative,
don't
but
go just directly over the bead. They kind of make a little pattern. Neat.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, they don't go directly over the bead, they just wrap around the bead.
Well, no,
that one-
some
that
of them just go over,
that one.
but now she's got some
Yeah.
loopy
You
patterns.
can, yeah, even when you go over the bead, you don't always have to go directly over it. You can circle it. And I'll show you, I have an example of it here. I got like two beads to go here, and then this one's done. So I want you to be very, very creative with this because the wire is kind of cool. It bends well. This wire will stay. I wore one for a whole weekend, didn't take it off, and I didn't have any problems with it. And if a 2-year-old can wear it, it's pretty sturdy too. Now this one I've gotten clear back to my end. I've got two beads to go around. Get these ones done, and then I'll. And these are pretty little beads, and I think I put about 2 yards of wire here. I'm going to end up with some and left over. Okay, once I get back to where I started from, here, I'm back to where I started from. Okay, right here, I started. We get it on me so I can show you. So started at. So you can go. I'm gonna put this on my lesson. Now you can just go where you started at and go over that a couple times to secure it. And then I will cut both ends and cut them tight. So I'm going to cut this end, which is the starting point. And I'm going to cut this end by my long wire off. And then I'm going to do a couple more around here. And then once you get that done, you may want to take a needle nose pliers and push it into your wrap so that you won't get caught on anything. And we've completed a bracelet. So I kind of when the needle nose it works. And you can feel it and make sure that it doesn't come, doesn't hurt you. But there's that. There's this one. This one's completed. See where I put it at. That was put. But the one I was telling you about, this one has the wires go around the beads, a circle around the beads. Yeah, I kind of like knotted it and put it around the beads. This one has lots of wraps in places too, so and then a little bit of wraps. So That's what that is, so. Did everybody else get theirs completed? Anybody else getting? Sarah got hers done. Is anybody else doing one?
There's
Very
mine.
good. Good job. Do you like how it turned out?
Well, I would change what I did. I couldn't visualize it before it was done.
Okay.
But
But you always gotta remember, this is that is your first one, and it's a learning process from there, so.
Okay.
How you doing?
Okay. Okay, I did a memory wire bracelet. I still had the stuff from last year, and I
Okay.
think it's turning out pretty good.
Okay, okay. Well, memory wire is different because it won't
Hmm.
wrap, but it's okay. It's
Yeah.
good to use up your supplies.
Right, exactly. Mhm.
It's good. And now if you get some more wire, then you can try one of these because you kind of see how I've done it, so. Well, here's another one I'll get finished too. This is Tammy's. And these are good too because you can make them to match an outfit, match jewelry you have. Anybody else have one they want to share with us? This one that Tammy did. She started it and I finished it. So, get it back in here. So. But if you can use it, and then about any kind of wire that you can find this in that gauge, or you can go one smaller. I would go, was it 18? You could go 18 too, but after 18, it would get too soft and they wouldn't keep their shape. So. Oh, and here's a problem I came into. I had a piece of wire, so I started this one, and I ran out of wire. I've got 3 beads left, and I'm out of wire. So what I would do is I would just put this one, wrap this, and then you would use up this wire. And then I would start another piece of wire right beside that one. Just keep it going. As long as you get a couple wraps on there, you can finish it. You can. Right way. This wire is hard. So this one I'll just finish with this. So I just started another piece of wire, and just keep going out. Just same principles. The only thing you can't do is add more beads. You got about 14 minutes. I'm about done now. So. Then when I put this one together, look at it over there, you'll not be able to see where one started and one ended. So. I got a question up there. No.
Will you take some pictures to make it look better? And they say it's not as hard as what they thought it was.
Yeah, it's quite easy. Once you get the hang of it, knack of it. I got these two other ones. Oh, no, where did that stuff at? Where'd you put your red and white one at?
My red and white one?
Yeah.
Not in. Oh, it's hanging off the table.
What? Break it. Don't work, yeah. Take it, somebody wants pictures of it. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see the twist when they're just laying there.
They kind of show it better on that. This is almost done too. And I use when I get close to the end, I cut it off so it's easier. That little tiny piece is easier to thread around than the long thing. So because I know where I'm going to be at. So. What? Oh, we need to go back to that one now. Because you got a pattern. Oh. Maybe that's why I don't like patterns to do patterns on them because Tammy was trying to rebead one, and the bead broke on it because I mostly use glass beads on my.
Sure, get these down here because they don't point them off.
You may have to, and whenever you're putting them on, if you keep your wire straight, that works really well too. And then bend it a little bit as you go. This one's almost done. This was the one where I had to add the wire to, and I'll show you where I add the wire to. I added the wire right. Let me see. Can't see. I need a dark. I did it right in the middle here, and you except for the one little end, you really can't see where I added the wire. So you can do that too if you don't plan well enough. Well, that was that little piece I was using before. I hate to waste wire, and I'll show you what I do with the little tiny pieces of wire. I'm just putting this over there. See, I can also make neck. You can make it into a necklace. So that's, can you see that? I have got on the screen. I've got a line with the sun, but you can just put this on a ribbon, on a chain, and then you have a necklace that kind of matches your bracelet too. And that I just go beat them through, and I come up around and wrap it, and then wrap it up the top to make it, to close it all together. So that was that one too. So Oh, look back this way so you can see it. That's what that is. So are there any more questions? Any more comments?
Yes, Charity, I
Yes.
made a second one.
See, you can do it really well, can't you?
Really fast.
And
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun. And I've never used this type of gauge before.
Haven't
Never
you?
done- No.
Yeah,
This was
it's-
something new I learned today.
it's not as hard as what you think it is, because look, it's like, oh, this is really thick wire. But it's very, very bendable, very,
Yes. it
very,
can
and
do-
very forgiving too. Very forgiving.
Yes. Thank you, Charity.
You're welcome. Thank you. Wires.
Turn that off for me.
I am done. Thank you all.
So that concludes Charity's class. She is all done. Miss Tanya, you are more than welcome to stop recording now. If anybody has any questions, feel free to let Charity know. Put them in the comments. We'll see them.
Thank you.